day, the politicians may come across different people. And those people are asking some questions to us regarding the Turkish drama. They are actually wondering the actresses and actors in the dramas, and they always express that they really like those people. And they also see our beloved cities like Istanbul in those dramas, and they're quite interested in those places. They always desire to come to Turkey to see those places. And sometimes there are different platforms like Netflix, and some people who are watching our dramas in Netflix or other platforms, they always ask questions about the future episodes of the drama. We were having a lunch, and a brother of a king asked me if the leading actors and actresses in a certain drama is going to be married in the future. So I said I don't want to give you any spoiler about that drama, but we understand that it's quite interesting for many people. And one day I was visiting a Muslim country in the South Mediterranean, and we were having a chit-chat with people. And one person said that you had a very good Turkish drama, but they resulted in a high rate of divorce. After your Turkish drama, no man likes women and no women likes men anymore. And we were having a discussion one day, and I know that my friends and relatives also are watching the same drama, and I showed something about the drama, and they got furious actually, and they were defending the drama, and the Christian leader actually got calmed and said that, Mevlüt, if I will convert to Islam one day, it will be because of this Turkish drama, because they explain the real Islam, and I'm quite impressed. So such things happen sometimes. Sometimes we visit countries with actors and actresses, and we stay in their shadows. Actually, they are even more popular than us. But I have many memories, actually. So everywhere, wherever I go, people always ask me questions about Turkish drama, and they always wonder about the actors and actors. So when I say that, yeah, I know of that actor, they also quite interested in us. Okay, thank you very much. You explained the situation quite good. Thank you very much, esteemed minister. And now we have actresses and actors with us, and our director is also with us. So I would like to pass the microphone to them as well. So Bülent Bey, let's start with you. So what do you think about the soft powers? How do you personally experience the Turkish drama series being so popular in other countries? There are some Arabic countries or other countries, people are watching these series. When you go there, when you go visit those countries, do you also experience that people like these series? Yes. Actually, my adventure started in 2006 with a drama series called Ihlamurlar Altında. And it was the second year of our drama. And they said that we are going to visit Dubai because this drama is quite popular in Dubai. And we said that there's no need to visit those countries. Let us work even more in Turkey. But they said, no, we have to visit Dubai. And then we went to Dubai. And until I went there and until I saw it with my own eyes that people were quite interested in those series, I couldn't imagine that actually in other corners of the world there are people who know us and who always admire us. We didn't know about this fact, and this actually increased day by day. This impact improved day by day thanks to the other Turkish drama series. More other countries started to invite us to their events, to meet us. So when we visited the other countries, people were quite interested in us, and sometimes the security guys had to protect us. So we are quite happy actually to have this interest and popularity. They are not always welcoming us. They are actually seeing the culture of our country. They see our language. They see our patterns, our history actually, and they like it. Actually, they welcome the whole country when they see us because they really like our country and they are quite interested in our country. The language is quite impressive, right? Do you have some memory, some people who speak Turkish? Yes, they actually, once they watched the drama, they were quite impressed, and some people started to learn Turkish. And when they met us, they actually come to us and they say that, okay, I started Turkish language courses and I want to speak in Turkish with you. So in Middle East, in Arabic countries, in some other countries, there are many people who speak our language just because they were quite impressed by the Turkish dramas. And in the last 2 decades, actually, the sector has improved enormously. And thanks to this support by our esteemed ministers and ministries, this is an overall success. Actually, they promoted us to the rest of the world. They promoted Turkey to the rest of the world. In North USA, in Eastern Europe, in Asia, in many countries, our Turkish dramas are broadcasted, especially in some digital platforms. People demand Turkish drama, which is even a better situation. So it can be a really good topic, actually, as subject for even an academic research, why Turkish drama are so successful. We have Kaan Yıldırım, Can Ulkay, and you are now working on a new project, as far as we know. And they work on Mevlana project. Mevlana is a new Turkish drama to be broadcasted in TRT. Actually, we wanted to have more people as a guest today, but unfortunately, because of the weather conditions in Istanbul, they couldn't join us. But let's talk about this new project. Can Bey, could you please give us some more information about this new project and what would be its impact, especially on the geographies other than Turkey? Hello, everyone. Good evening. We have young people coming here today. Welcome. So let me explain the Mevlana project. It is important not only for Turkey, but also for the rest of the world. So on my behalf, I can say that so far no one has dared to put such a project into practice, and there are many reasons behind it, actually. First of all, we have TRT is the producer, and they started to have this project, and it is actually a encouraging process because the Prophet Mevlana is a well-known figure, well-known character, and it is quite important to us to have this project and to promote this to the rest of the world. So we are not doing it only for ourselves. So with TRT and all our producers, we always have been discussing the fact that this is not a domestic project, actually. This needs to be addressed the whole world, and the project can be better understood by the whole world. So this needs to be such a project. So once we set all those conditions perfect for us, then we actually set off this journey. We have a great team, and all of us have been working on this project for a very long time with the support of TRT's new studio. So there are very important new studios. I believe every one of you should see those studios. They are quite critical for the cinema history in Turkey. So Plato, we have an actually new city for our activities. So we will actually have this project in Turkey and we will promote it to the rest of the world. And we also have actually a good platform to shoot our dramas. So, for example, we need to have more movie plateaus actually for historical places to shoot our movies. We need to produce those platforms and we need to share them with the other producers as well. And it will open a new door for the future projects actually. So we would like to promote this Mevlana project to the rest of the world. And we actually tell a very wonderful story. And we also would like to promote our facilities and our capabilities. Yes, esteemed minister said that our Turkish dramas are quite popular all around the world. We have many beauties to show them. But for the first time, we will show our platforms and facilities as well, and people will wonder where is this place because we have a quite high quality movie shooting platforms and facilities. And I believe all around the world there will be common productions, actually, joint productions. And the world will follow us as well. It is not limited to selling our films and dramas to the rest of the world. We should also bring people to Turkey because we have well-equipped facilities. This is the technical side of the project. And the other part, actually, it will take longer time to explain Prophet Mevlana and his importance. In the morning, we were actually at the facility, we were shooting with Khan, and after that we came here to Antalya. And Kerim Aydın, the producer, is also with us today. Yes, he is also here. It's a very important project, and you also refer to many important situations. We are telling many stories, yes, and many people all around the world are watching those dramas. But on the other hand, we have another industry, and this industry will trigger new dynamics in the future. Like years ago, the Turkish language, the Turkish names, the Turkish dramas will penetrate into millions of homes. And we couldn't imagine actually that would happen 20 years ago, but now many people are watching our movies. So Gülsüm Ali İlhan, I would like to pass the microphone to you. You actually depicted many important characters and figures in many different Turkish movies. And you have a quite role in those dramas. And do you have such a burden on your shoulders? Actually, I would like to understand your perspective in this regard. So thank you very much and welcome, first of all, and I'm quite honored to be here. And esteemed minister, thank you very much for your kind invitation. I actually feel a huge responsibility on my shoulders. Since my childhood, I was quite interested in historical series and biographical movies, and I made some research about those characters that I watched on the movie. So once I was invited to depict an historical character, I was quite happy and I felt a huge responsibility because I wanted to reflect that character correctly to the people, and I made a huge research on that character and to get information so that I can reflect the character at the best. Yes, this actually will impact your dynamics actually as an actress. Yes, we discussed the Turkish dramas effect on the Turkish brand actually, and it also helped Turkish language be expanded all around the world. And I wonder, do you have any memory about it, like the people's being interested in Turkish language or their sympathy for Turkish language? So yes, I have some memories like Bülent Inal. I was born in Bulgaria and I was raised in Bulgaria. And Turkish drama had huge impact on people, and I witnessed that as a person living there. So Turkish drama was broadcasted on at 8 p.m. in the evening, and there was no people outside because everyone was at home watching TV. And most of my friends actually were quite curious about what's going to happen in the next episode, and they were watching the Turkish drama in Turkish language without any subtitles, and thanks to that, they learned Turkish language back that times. Yes, we see that many people is learning Turkish language, and just because my name is Elif, for example, then people were quite interested in me in Bosnia and Herzegovina. There was a Turkish drama broadcasted there, and the name of that drama was Elif, and my name is Elif. That's why people were quite interested in me. And Kaan Bey, now I want to pass the microphone to you. How is your experience? Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, welcome. How is your experience? Can you share your experiences with us regarding the Turkish productions or Turkish drama series impact on other countries? Do you have such memories when you understand this impact? And how do you feel to be a part of those global productions? I was in Rome once and I was buying a pizza, and the shopkeeper actually called me in Turkish and he recognized me. And I was quite surprised, and I understood that the art and culture actually makes it universal, and it's quite impressive actually. So I also would like to receive some questions from the audience. I am sure you all are interested in and you're curious about something, but I want to ask you first. And if you want to join and answer these questions, of course you are welcome, but I want to first ask this question to you. So what is the reason of this success? What is behind this success? You said that the shopkeeper in Italy called me by my character's name. So why people are so impressed by the Turkish drama? Actually, in our sector, we have quite creative and quite skillful actresses and actors and producers and directors. And in our culture, we have many stories to tell. We have such a diversity. That's why people, and we are also the Mediterranean people, and we are emotional, and that's why people are quite interested in our culture. So we managed to take their attraction. John, John Bey, actually, you have a background in cinema, and you also were selected as the first candidate for Oscar ceremony. You are the director of Ayla movie. So what is your observation in this regard? Of course, it is difficult to answer, but what is the reason behind the success of Turkish drama? And I would like to hear your perspective.
As Khan has also said in the beginning, the main reason why the Turkish series are so well known, even though it seems likely to be long, but the stories that we make, the remakes, are totally been realized according to our feelings and emotions. And we can actually bring it up as a real Turkish story. So, of course, from Korea, we are actually bringing up a lot of stories from Korea, but we are converting it to our culture. As Mr. Khan has said, that we have started making it very fast and in good quality. And we have really very good actors. And we are serving our actors all around the world. And as a Mediterranean people, we have many different types of characters of people. And when I call it as if in a physical point of view, we have many variety and diverse type of people having curly hair, straight hair, or fair or dark-haired people. So in our stories that we're talking about, all these characters are combined together. And in the series, we do have a lot of different types of characters, and particularly in the Mediterranean, in Latin America, in Europe, Asia, and in the Middle East. All these characters can be promoted really properly. And of course, the stories are really very much valuable in all the feelings, the warm feelings of ourselves, the drama, the comedy, whatever you say, in any kind of a behavior or attitude that really very much impacts the people in abroad. Our cinema, compared to our series, is not that famous. I mean, as mainstream cinema. And I realize right now, I hope everything is fine over there. Well, we are waiting for the medics. Well, yes, cultural diplomacy and its relation with the Turkey series. So this is a panel that we are initiating, and we will be continuing, and we'll wish good health to our friend. So, of course, you have also very much important questions, and I really wonder what you're going to be asking. So I definitely immediately would like to receive questions from you. Are there anyone who would like to ask a question? But please, would you wait for the microphone? Hello, your name, please. I think it's not working. No, we can hear you. My name is Furkan Yaya from the Sakarya University, and I'm a student. And I was said, so the soft power has been generally used by the United States. Hollywood has an important role for being a soft power for the world. So, in our Turkish series, as it has said before, I think it will be a soft power as well. And I think that the series are very long. This is what I wanted to say as a time. So we are just actually reflecting the feelings of our people. Yes, thank you very much for your comment. Is there any? Do you want to talk about this? Yes, you're very right, my dear friend. My dear friend, you're really right. And TRT General Director is also here. Not only diplomacy, of course. We need to take a look back again to the series as well. Well, it is a very interesting area for me because our TRT General Director is also amongst us. But we do not give the possibility for defending themselves, but let us say that we received a message. Okay, thank you very much for your comments. And you, please, sir, over there. Thank you so much. My name is Emre Sipayoğlu. I'm a PhD student in the MEF University. My question is to our distinguished minister and our participants. I would like to ask, which series do you like most? Yes, let us begin with you, sir. Actually, I shouldn't be here. I just was here to say hello to my friends, and I have seen that all the friends are very excited, and they said to us, please go to the stage before us. So let me not answer this question. Think that I'm not here. I think in the world and also in Turkey, there's a series that I really very much like. It's actually Diriliş Ertuğrul. Do you ask as a Turkish series? As a Turkish series, you mean, or Yaprak Dökümü? And let me tell you that we are a little bit biased, of course. We are those who are producing, and everybody would actually, of course, defend the series they are producing. And I will say Mevlana, I guess. Yes, Mevlana, I hope, will be just as good as we want to. It will be very different for the Turkish cinema sector or the series sector. And let me tell, it's Mevlana. And what would Mr. Bülent say? No, I would say İkinci Bahar. Well, thank you. Any other question? Yes, you, sir. Hello. I was wondering, as a soft power, We were talking about the Turkish series, but since the TRT General Director is also here, I wonder, is it possible that Turkey can come back to Eurovision? Because because Turkey is loved in that way, and the Turkish music is really demanded. That's the reason why I was asking this question. Thank you very much for that question. But right now, of course, I suppose there's no answer to this question. Actually, this is not an answer of this panel, but I'm not sure whether you would like to answer to this. So the TRT General Director would like to answer to this question. Let us give the mic to him. It will be really interesting to learn from him. Hello. Thank you very much for your participation. Actually, I shouldn't have to be here. My friends were very excited, and they just pushed me forward to the stage, and I'm not going to answer to this question. So it's like a copy-paste speeches, isn't it? Mrs. Aysobacı, our TRT General Director, thank you very much, Mr. President. Yes, ladies. Okay. Hello, my name is Özge Kenar from the Sakarya University. My question is to Mr. Bülent. Payitaht Abdülhamit was the series that you were acting. What was the scene that you had hardships? It was a very long series, and there were plenty difficult times during acting as you were acting, and just afterwards, while I'm listening to the feelings and emotions of the people, which scene, if you ask me, the media scene was a really hard scene, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I received wonderful, actually, reactions from it. Thank you very much. And you, sir. First and foremost, thank you very much. I would like to ask a question to Mr. Minister and also Mr. Bülent and also TRT General Director, but very fast, please. I'm very fast. So I would like to be saying that TRT Music, TRT1, TRT Series, there are plenty of different platforms of TRT, but on the other hand, TRT is not very well known. They're good, really good, actually, and very serious programs that you are making, and it should have been known better, but thank you very much to all of the studies that you have been making. My question to Mr. Minister is that if you were an actor, in which format would you like to be in, and what would be your character? What would be your acting character? And my question to Mr. Bülent is that you have been acting in a very long period of time, in a very important series. My father still says when he sees you that you are Abdülhamit. And it seems likely to be this will go on like that for a long period of time. And you, after acting in such a very important character, so let's say that you cannot play in a different character from now on. What is your career targets for the future? Because Abdülhamit Tan is maybe the peak of your career. Well, thank you very much. Of course, these questions. I'm really joyful right now because you are asking the questions that I cannot ask right now, but it's wonderful to hear from you all these questions. And yes, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Bülent. Payitaht Abdülhamit was a very much important series and one of the most important and special works of TRT. It was a very important character, a very important person, and he has a very important place in my life, and it will be so as such in the future as well. Of course, while you are deciding on a role, we do not have the possibility to say that I have to have a role that should look like the previous one. It's not possible because we are professionals, but if you ask me now, I am right now acting Mevlana. So while in high school, I had a small role, and I also had a role in the United States. My character was called Tim, and I was a florist. And maybe I could actually play an R, which is a landowner, because at the university my nickname was R. And I used to actually distribute many different fruits and vegetables to my friends from our lands. But I wouldn't want to play actually a politician. I think that we can take a few more questions. Yes. Hello. Good evening. I'm from the Yeditepe University. I come from Kyrgyzstan, and I make my PhD in Hacı Bayram University. I feel emotional. The Turkish series are really very famous right now in Kyrgyzstan. Honestly to say, the names of the heroes and heroines are given to the newborns. For instance, we were saying the handsome one has come, because the handsome one was the actor Kaan Yıldırım, and Khan, the name Khan is given to the newborns right now in Kyrgyzstan. Of course, the historical films and series are very famous right now, and you are producing a lot of it. For instance, in Kyrgyzstan, in the Tamra Mountains, do you have any ideas about actually using the mountains as a set in order to make a historical movie or a series? While we are actually making Mevlana, I was actually following the agenda as well, because between Turkey and also Kyrgyzstan, there has been a an important bridge. And I was also invited to Istanbul to a gathering, but I couldn't come. All of these are new, actually, steps, because with Turkey and the Middle East and Asia Major, we have a great amount of a connection, of course. I definitely know that there are plenty of stories that go up to Turkmenistan, to Kyrgyzstan, to Kazakhstan, and even to China. So studies are ongoing about this, because we have the same culture, we have the same legacy, we have the same history. And that is the reason why very important people, very important characters are going to be depicted in the movies or in the series. They shouldn't be only be kept in documents, and visually they also should have to be shown to the world. And I believe that in the future there will be plenty of common productions, and this is going to be told to the whole world. Yes, another question. Would you please stand up? Thank you very much. My name is Hüsnü Akvasif, and I am a graduate from international relations. And I would like to say that yesterday we had the opportunity to meet also the vice minister, diplomats. For instance, I make plans. For instance, I make targets for 3, 4 years. I also determine targets for 3 weeks, for instance, but I cannot actually achieve it totally. But for instance, your life as a politician, you do reach to your targets. If you do say that you do not want to eat this, you definitely don't eat it. If you have to go to a hairdresser, you do it. So you have. It seems likely that you have a very orderly life, and it seems likely to me that this order starts from your childhood. Do you try to say to me that's? What do you mean about me, mon cher, also? So about, of course, I do not have any kind of a limit in food and beverage. Sometimes I diet and take care of myself, of course, and sometimes not. For targets, you don't have to be a diplomat. For instance, for you and for us, as for the future, you need to have targets indeed. And when you have that target, believe me that you are going to achieve what you want to do. I have options. Since after the elementary school, I started to put targets for myself. For instance, I wanted to be a diplomat, and I decided to be one during when I was in the high school. And at the period of time, you didn't know much about the professions because you didn't have so much social medias, or you didn't have any kind of an internet. And I decided to also study in the States, and then you had to also send documents in envelopes. And but of course there are hardships. But if you put a target, then you can achieve it. But in diplomacy is a very dynamic field. And that is the reason why you definitely have to do some certain plannings. But there are unexpected situations that might occur. You have to be prepared for this. And that's the reason why we have a coordination and support department that we have established. And a distinguished colleague is working over there with his team. You have to have a business discipline, the work discipline. You have to do it in time. Otherwise, you cannot actually really abide by all of these changes. So you are starting up. There are 983 projects in Asia that we are executing right now. We are talking about digital diplomacy, and there are certain things that you have to do for that. In every field, or in right now about Ukraine, as you know, at the ongoing war, there are plenty of different things that you have to consider. You have to evacuate the people. We try to actually stop the war. It's a very dynamic field, and that's the reason why it is not possible that you can actually strictly make plans, but it's also not easy to actually to pass the examinations of our ministry. The ministry does have actually a discipline. To me, it is a little bit strict, and we have a corridor. In the corridor, everybody has an actually record, a registry, and you have to really be very attentive about your behaviors and attitudes. So we were a little bit away from the people in the past, but now it's a little, we have become much more closer than before to the people. So right now, the people do know what we're eating, what we do, and the other institutions, they already know what we are doing. So we, as diplomats, are no different than you or our other colleagues. Of course, there are different types of aspects of our business, like different assignments, etc. But these are different dynamics. So we are not different than you, and we are not mon chers. So our activity was only an hour, but there are so many questions. And how many questions do you think should be asked? 3, all at the same time. Okay. I would like to give the floor to that side of the hall. And there you have also a friend here. Atakün from Çukurova University, from International Relations. My question would be that our friend, our colleague who asked the first question was talking about Hollywood, and secondly, there's Bollywood as for soft power. And we talked also about how important soft power is when we talk about culture. And digital platforms on the other side, of course, the productions of Turkey is changing. And as for Hollywood and Bollywood, in the next coming years, do you think that we can find Turkey as a third power, like Tollywood? Why not? So do you think that Turkey can actually find himself strong in Hollywood and Bollywood in the coming future? What do you think about this? In my opinion, I definitely think that there are really great producers and directors as well. So if you want to compete with Hollywood, then while Hollywood is producing a movie, maybe they have much more time, much more finances. If you have this time and finances, I do believe to the fact that we do have we have the capability and ability to achieve it. But now, of course, normally we don't have it. Realistically to say, we do not have the power for the time being. Anybody else who would like to answer to this question, or we can go pass on to the next question? Yes. Yes, please, sir. I would like to ask a question to Mr. Minister. I'm coming from the Milky together with two of my friends. In order that the cultural diplomacy can be implemented and can be executed, what type of studies and works does the Ministry of Foreign Affairs do? And what types of works do the diplomats and the ambassadors do? Thank you very much. We have the Ministry of Culture, but also we have the Cultural Department as well under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's the reason why we are supporting the sculptors, the musicians, the painters. So we definitely support all these works that our artists are doing in abroad, logistically, etc. And we also definitely support them that all the works go in a proper way logistically, and the concert halls and their rental of the concert halls, all the support is definitely delivered by us. And we as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs are creating many activities both in Turkey and in abroad. For instance, this year, we in the Western Europe and also in Caucasia, and also with our with the Middle Asian countries, we are definitely using culture to create a harmony. And we have also centers in abroad that we are supporting, not only in Turkish, but for instance, in Japan, we had the opportunity to see also Ebru art and also ornaments are taught in abroad. So these are all part of our culture. And cultural diplomacy is what we believe in, and we see its benefit. There are many more examples for that. And on the other hand, we try to support the studies and the works that are ongoing in abroad. And on the other hand, also in Turkey, we are supporting all the works ongoing here and all the activities that are been here realized. So now Gülsüm Alihan can decide for a question. Nobody asked me a question. Who would like to ask me a question? The lady over there. Well, you achieved it. Well, I hope it won't be that hard. First, thank you very much for this beautiful panel. I'm from the Bilkent University International Relations Department. My name is Zeynep Özarat. Actually, I want to talk a little bit of a more sociological issue. Taking a look to the media in general, for instance, in the series, when we talk about the series, it is tried to make how a Turkish family lives, for instance. But on the other hand, how much do we create gender equality in series? And you are the only person who is a woman in this panel, of course, rather than Ms. Elif Bereketli, who is the anchor of this panel, of the TRT world. And on the other hand, TRT, did you hear it? So our fifth panelist is Mr. Zayed. I'm sorry. Yes. So what can we do about gender equality? For instance, in order to reflect our family values, gender equality, or violence against women, in order to actually depict these matters and strongly underline them, what can be done? Maybe you can actually talk about your own experiences. For the time being, the series Gönül Dağı that I am in, I'm sure that there are those who have watched it. Right now, in the series, I think that this series is the best series that shows the values of the families, and we can see it also in the ratings. When we take a look to the weekly ratings, not only STRT, but also amongst all of the different channels, we are ranking at the top. I think this is the reason why. And as a woman, I'm not sure, but I had the opportunity always to actually depict strong women. The character that I am depicting is Dilek, who is standing on her own feet, who is actually a businesswoman, and she got married actually right now. And then we have also the Aslıhan character that I have acted in my previous years. She was also very strong. I think I was very lucky about this. I never have actually had a role that you were depicting, of course, but there are certain types of roles as such.
Actually, you asked a very good question. It was a sociological question. I will keep it brief because we are going to end this session, but we should discuss whether those dramas needs to be pioneering. Are we going to raise the awareness through those dramas? Are these dramas has such a responsibility to raise the awareness within the society, or what type of rating needs to be taken into consideration? Yeah, it's a very good question, and it's a hot topic agenda all around the world. And regarding the gender inequality, maybe we should start this education and awareness raising in the early ages. Not only in the Turkish drama, actually, if we teach our children, if we raise the awareness in our children when they actually become a 20-year-old young people, they will learn about what is wrong and what is right, and they are not going to have this life experience only through drama. Thank you very much, Kaan Bey, for your comment. And esteemed Minister, I would like to give the floor to you. I can't watch Gönül Dağı, but my wife, Gönül, is watching this Turkish drama, and she really likes it. So this question is really good question. Thank you very much, our friend from Bilkent University. Of course, the movies, what is the main objective of this cultural and art activities? To give people an opportunity to have fun and spend their time in a good manner. So the Turkish musical actually are also quite popular, and we have very good folk music as well. So in every movie there is a message, and those messages are actually reaching to the audience. Sometimes there are propaganda, you see the flag of the nation, sometimes you convey a religious message. There must be a message. That's why when it comes to combating the violence against women or child abuse or fight against violence, we have to give those messages. We have to deliver those messages to the audience. This is a very critical point, actually, because many people are watching those dramas, and those Turkish dramas will reflect the image of Turkish people. And I believe that our producers, script writers will have this responsibility in their hearts, so that we should deliver those messages. Because considering the comments of the people who are watching those dramas, you would understand that people are interested in the cultural aspects, the national cuisine, the language, family values, the artistic values. Of course, yes, we should earn, we should have fun, but we should also deliver our messages quite successfully, and it is possible to do that, and I believe we should deliver those messages to the public. Thank you very much. It was a quite good question, so we are going to close this session. You asked really good questions. We had fun, and we delivered quite important messages, actually. So our friend who fainted during this session is now feeling even better now. So it's a good news. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comments. You would like to ask a question, but that's a final question, please. We need to close this session, unfortunately. The very last question, let's hear from you. I am so sorry. Hello, good evening. I am coming from Erzurum Diplomacy Academy. My question will be to Can Ulkay. If you would like to shoot a movie on Turkish political life, who would you select and why? Yeah, it's a political question, and my answer will be political as well. So we have many works, actually. Let me briefly talk about them. And before answering your question, I actually had movies like Ayla, and then I shoot Muslim. And actually, I selected these characters, and I tried to promote those characters so that more people knew about them. Those are the important figures and characters in Turkish society, and their way of life, their characters needs to be reflected on the cinema salon so that many people will watch them and learn from them. So in our political life, we also have very valuable figures and characters. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. Having a movie about Mustafa Kemal Atatürk is everybody's desire, actually. And Prophet Mevlana, they are quite important characters. We can only explain them from very limited perspective, only because their life, their character cannot be explained just in a 2-hour movie. You need more hours, days, actually. So that's why having a movie on Hazreti Mevlana, the Prophet Mevlana, is quite important. But we need to do more works, actually. We need to explain from every aspect. Yes, those movies actually needs to be there. Our visual archives needs to be full of memories of those cultures and arts, actually. We have 3,000 of history, and we didn't tell our story by using those visual archives. We started with Mevlana, but we can also tell the stories of other figures and characters, and so that next generations will learn about them as well. Thank you very much. And very briefly, I want to make a final comment. We discussed diplomacy and soft power, and I would like to say that cinema history is a 121-year-old history, and it's a very young type of art, but the cinema has the highest impression on the society. That's why we need to improve our own cinema. We need to make our cinema live longer for the future so that we can reflect all our visual history and we can keep it in an archive and we can show it to the rest of the world. And this is my personal responsibility as a director, and this is my solemn wish for my own personal life. I would like to tell the stories of those people, and we are the storytellers, and we have to tell those stories to the bigger nations, and this should be our solemn role, actually. And I would like to thank our actresses, our actors, our producers for their contribution to the sector. Yes, you have touched upon quite important topics, and we couldn't have enough time to develop on those topics. We just actually had the general framework, and we discussed the soft power. I don't know, we had delivered so many messages to Zahid Bey, the Director General of TRT, to deliver more messages to the public, and we had really good time. And esteemed Minister, thank you very much for sharing your experiences and visions with us. Thank you so much for your participation.
Çok teşekkürler.